The Woolverstone Project is a sailing project for anybody to come sailing. We like to think that whatever people's abilities, they can come sailing with us. So whether they're mobile or whether they're slightly immobile, we reckon anybody can come sailing with us.
In the early days, it consisted just of club members taking people out in their own boats. And then eventually, they imported an access dinghy. I think ours was the first one to be in this country. The great thing about the access dinghy was that it was infinitely adaptable. And if they had no movement in one hand, we could adapt the boat to suit their needs.
For many of them, sailing is their freedom from disability. Once they're on the water, it's a completely level playing field.
Old mine's permanent brain damage. Yes, that's. But sailing is helps me certainly. Those that come or choose to come here, what a relief! Absolute relief.
When I was an infant, I was paralysed with polio. I mean, it's a challenge, but it's also an independence to enjoy being out there on my own, being able to deal with it without being reliant on others.
I had a brain hemorrhage which took out my left-hand side, and one of the things I was worried about in hospital was that I'd never be able to sail again. And
all right, then, Mark. Oh, that's not too bad today.
Actually, that was quite good, wasn't it?
Just, I mean, look at this round here today. A sunny day with a bit of wind blowing. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. And seeing as most of it's volunteer powered, I mean, it's very impressive.
I love nothing better than getting a bunch of youngsters down here, usually between 6 and 8 of them, never sailed before, never thought about it before, and I can put them, some of them, straight into these single-hand boats and set them off.
Okay.
All comfortable?
And I have every confidence that one way or another we'll get them back by the end of the session as well. And then last week they come with their parents, and hopefully, if we've done our job right, they can take their parents out sailing, which is a huge, and we all stand around crying. It's as simple as that.
We have an enormous volunteer base. We have over 60 volunteers who come to help us. Some of them are experienced sailors. Some of them just simply come along because they just love helping out and seeing the joy that the sailors have from being on the water.
Just slide off this way. Yep. Head for this chair when you turn round.
The idea of the wheelie boat is that it's an accessible boat so that anybody, whatever their disability, whatever their situation, can get on it. So it's wheelchair accessible, and it can even be driven by people who are in a wheelchair, and it means that we can get absolutely anybody on the water. I think well, that's what I settled in this morning.
Would you right pain if you actually had to come?
Wonderful.
Grand, lovely.
I'd come again if they'd let me.
Lovely, yes, lovely everything, except we can't have a dip.
The most satisfying thing is to look at individual successes, people who've benefited from it. Kids with autism who've gained confidence and gone to university. People with physical disabilities who have improved in coordination and learnt a new skill. Those are the people for whom the project really is worthwhile.
The joy of being on the water It's so calming.
He absolutely loves it. He steers it and he finds his freedom. He says, I can be out there and go where I want to go.
Gives me entertainment, I can steer myself and everything.
It's a collective group of volunteers who really work very hard at making us who are disabled to enable us to be able to have this opportunity, and they all pull together as a great team.